Good morning, welcome to The Way of the Cross, The Way of the Resurrection, part 9, I think this is. And for this I want to share something that I read in the Church Times, and it'll probably cause copyright issues, I don't know. What I think I'm doing is I'm promoting the Church Times as a source of great articles and the author for their wisdom. So it's a guy called Giles Lascelles, Lascelle, and he's a psychotherapist, and he deals mainly with people coping with the trauma of abuse, which is pretty grim. Fascinating, but pretty grim. But he sort of reflects on what's going on, and that led to a sort of, yes, bolt from the blue moment for me. And I think I'm sharing it with you, hopefully that it helps. So I'll give you a little bit of context. He starts off, sometimes my psychotherapy clients tease me about how often I talk about their journey. The reason is that it is such a good metaphor for the process of healing and recovery from trauma. It's also a very necessary one. And he reflects a little bit about journey, and then he compares it with the journey from slavery in Egypt of God's promised chosen people to the promised land, freedom in the promised land. When the children of Israel left the slavery of Egypt, they were free in body. The journey across the desert promised, let me start that again. When the children of Israel left the slavery of Egypt, they were free in body. The journey across the desert to the promised land of abundance should have taken them 2 or 3 days, but they were not ready for their destination. Their minds and spirits still followed the same patterns of thinking and feeling and reacting as if they were still in bondage. Well, that's pretty much an moment for me, but there's more. We may be free of the abuse we suffered, at least in as much as we are no longer under the direct control of our abusers. Nevertheless, we still have the mindset, the attitudes of heart, and the responses of those who are still enslaved by abuse. We need a breakthrough, and we need to be set free. We don't break through to our destination, though. We break through to our journey. Now, breakthrough. I react to that because it just feels like a quick fix. But actually he's saying, yeah, there is a need for breakthrough, but it isn't to the destination, it's to the journey, to part of the process. Of course, the quick fix solutions, the instant cures, and the golden calves are always going to appeal to us. Every single creature is wired to avoid pain and discomfort. When we already have been through so much, why wouldn't we hanker after a shortcut to the destination? And it's true. Yeah, we want that shortcut, that breakthrough. And I have promised them in sermons, just do this, say this, think this, and you will break through into this encounter with God. But actually he's saying we break through into the journey. One of the hardest things for us to learn as survivors, and he's counting himself as a survivor here, interestingly, so it's his lived experience, is that there are no shortcuts. No. There are no shortcuts in recovering from trauma, in the spiritual life, in the Christian life. There are no shortcuts. That is grim, but I think that's part of the Easter story. That it is not a shortcut to perfection, as some, I think, find themselves promising. It is a breakthrough into the journey of following Jesus through Good Friday again, to Easter Sunday. That's what I need to learn more about. I'm a bit stuck in Good Friday. Where have I got to? Yes. So if there were shortcuts, the destination would be different. Interesting. Contrary to what we may want to believe, it is the journey cut short that leads to the second-class life. Let me read that again. Contrary to what we may want to believe, it is the journey cut short that leads to the second-class life. So it's actually trying to shortcut that journey of whizzing to Easter Sunday without following the full journey that leads to the second-class life. When we are tempted to cheat ourselves of the journey, the wholeness and freedom we discover at the end will be superficial. We may be able to say, smile, and oh yes, Jesus has set me free, but it won't be real. It won't be lived inside. It looks good on the outside, but inside we are still suffering the pain and the distress of wounds that have not been adequately healed or been cleansed of infection. The only way to real healing is the journey, is following the journey in full, entering into the sufferings, so that we are caught up in the resurrection. The truth is, we are survivors not because we have come to the end of our journey, or even because we have reached a certain point along the way. We are survivors because we have chosen to begin. Whoa. We are survivors because we have chosen to begin that journey. Now, I want to broaden that. It's not just about people who have been awfully traumatized, although many of us have. It's all of us in our dealings and our growings. We need the journey. It's the journey that changes us. We have chosen to embrace the journey of healing and recovery, wherever it may lead us, in the full knowledge that it will be hard and painful at times, but still holding on to hope and open to the possibility of being transformed by the discoveries we make along the way. I think I'll read that sentence again because it's amazing stuff. We have chosen to embrace the journey of healing and recovery, wherever it may lead us, open to that, not knowing, in the full knowledge that it will be hard and painful at times. Yeah, it will be. But still holding on to hope. That's something we need to hold on to at the moment. Holding on to hope. And open to the possibility of being transformed by the discoveries that we make along the way. I can only say amen to that.